definition of stigma would probably be, it would be categorizing someone or a culture without knowing them.
My definition of stigma? It's a negative outlook towards somebody based on something that has happened.
Well, the stigma that I faced initially in my life was being a Mexican American, and I don't understand people's reactions to me. I was born in this country, I speak the language, and yet sometimes I feel that people are just looking at me by the color of my skin and assuming things about me.
Because of me being in the system, I wasn't gonna make it in society. And then when my kids entered the system, I have that. Not necessarily against me, but against them. Like with my son, with him, they think that this blue pill that he's on is gonna change the way that he behaves. And I have to keep going up there and telling them it's not the way that he behaves, it's just to make his chemicals balanced. And the way that he behaves has nothing to do with it. He still has those choices the way he has to make it.
As a child, you know what? As a child, I grew up thinking that Leave It to Beaver was the show, was the way of life, and I didn't understand why my life wasn't that way. So I grew up with a lot of fear. I grew up with a lot of fear of what people thought of me. But, I pretty much joined a gang just so I can feel part of something bigger than me.
I have too many times to count in my life. I mean, so many times, and I feel guilty about it. But, you know, hopefully as I get older and wiser, I could minimize it and maybe one day eliminate it altogether. Who knows?
I have stigmatized another group of people, and I don't like admitting this, and I don't like feeling it, but I actually have harbored a lifelong prejudice against white European Americans, and it's paradoxical because if I hate white people, I'm hating myself too.
If I see somebody that's gay, and I have friends that are gay, but hearing other people put labels on them, I look at them different. But then again, on the other hand, I have some great friends that are gay, so, and it's them being labeled.
I think the whole idea of communication within the family, you know, I don't believe there was any communication between me and my parents, you know, and now that I'm a parent, my views on how I socialize on a parent and person basis is very important. The world moves fast, but it's not fast. It's not that fast to where I can't take a moment to listen to my child.
Secrets. I noticed that my parents kept secrets, were dishonest sometimes with each other and with themselves, and were passive about things. They accepted it when people pretty clearly were discriminating against us as a family or against them as individuals. I don't agree with that kind of passivity, and I appreciate more openness and being straight up with people about things.
I think it's an everyday duty to do something about stigma, because we got to break down these walls that keep people afraid of each other. You know, because everyone, I think, naturally has their own little prejudice, their little bias in their head. Maybe they don't act on it, but still, just the thought being in your head is going to send out negative energy. And even though you don't have to say it explicitly to somebody, people sense that energy coming from you.
By letting them know that perhaps they might be different in class, race, color, creed, religious, sexual identity, whatever it is, but to let them know that that difference doesn't necessarily make them less than, and that perhaps they will have barriers to come across, but those barriers can be overcome.
I'm retired governor. of being a drug addict. They don't want nothing to do with me. It feels pretty bad.
There's a saying that once an addict is always an addict. And there was a time in my life where I believed that. And that was the way my life was going to be. But I don't agree with that today. I'm a recovering addict who believes that I have another chance at life. And I've been around only a minute, but it's kind of nice to be able to walk amongst the norm, being norm. You know?